We've had to wait a little bit longer than expected, but it's finally the 3A State Softball Championship on Arkansas PBS. He's JB Brazil. I'm Bobby Swafford. The 4A baseball game running long across campus here at the University of Central Arkansas. So we're joining you in progress as Harding Academy has a 1-0 lead on Mayflower as we hit the bottom of the first.
And if you're a Wildcat fan, you can't be at two places at once, right? You got baseball and softball playing at the same time. That doesn't happen very often.
Harding Academy jumped out to a 1-0 lead as Corey Hastings had an RBI single to left. That drove in Ace Ellis to take the 1-0 lead. Here we are in the bottom of the first as Kylie Branscombe leading things off for the Eagles.
She's a good hitter. .554 average. You think that's good? That's over half the time she's getting a base hit.
12 doubles on the season. Looking to add to that total here. That one goes down the left field line. The play made out in left, but Branscombe a head-first slide into second base. Double number 13, and Mayflower has the first base runner on.
That ball smoked right over the third baseman's head, just past the glove. But when you square it up like that, that's always tough to react to a great start for Mayflower in the home half of the first.
Really good battle there from Branscombe, a 9-pitch at bat, and she wins it as Branscombe leads things off with the double for Mayflower. Now Alyssa Haggins going to step in, try to get Mayflower on the scoreboard here in the first.
Got 3 chances to do it. You got to love the start from Mayflower. Trying to go blow for blow with Harding Academy after the Wildcats strike first. Mayflower putting pressure on with a runner in scoring position.
.414 average on the season for Alyssa. 6 doubles, 3 triples, 3 homers with 40 RBIs in the 2-hole position. That one fouled away.
You know what that tells me? 40 RBIs, that means the top of the lineup's getting on a ton. She's had a lot of opportunities to drive in runs when you got your leadoff hitter Branscombe starting things off. 25-6 record for Mayflower. Looking for their first ever softball championship. The bunt tipped, rolls foul, and that evens up the count at 2-2. I like the idea, trying to move that runner to third with less than 2 outs to give you a good opportunity, but a good pitch there, low and away. Tough to get that bunt down. And now for Harding Academy, a strikeout or an out here would be big.
Trying to play a little small ball. Haggins has only struck out 9 times all season as that one misses low. Beautiful evening for softball here in Conway. Mayflower looking to tie things up with Harding Academy. That one sent right back up the middle. Chance to score a run. That will score a run. Head first slide, RBI single for Alyssa Haggins, and we are all tied at 1.
Man, you got to love it. Great at bat at the dish. Just kept battling. Didn't get the bunt down. Said, all right, I got to swing away now. Really good pitch, but a better piece of hitting, and we're all tied.
Harding Academy jumps out to the 1-0 lead, but with just 2 batters here in the bottom of the first, Mayflower erases that advantage, and we are squared up at a run apiece.
That's a great start for Mayflower. Double, single to begin, still nobody out. You got a chance to keep applying a little bit more pressure, too.
This top of the lineup production for Mayflower is unreal. Tori Barksdale now steps in, .432 average on the season as she watches a strike at the knees.
Yeah, she's got 35 runs driven in also, a home run. Got some pop from that left side.
Get used to hearing the high batting averages because as a team, Mayflower hits .399.
Man.
That's why they're playing for a championship.
No kidding, that'll play. 400, basically, let's round up. That's quite impressive. You're going to win a lot of ball games, and they have, with the way they've hit the softball.
Ace Ellis in the circle for Harding Academy. That one chopped, maybe perfectly placed. Going to be a close play at first. Not in time. Barksdale beats the throw. 3 consecutive base hits for Mayflower, and they've got runners at first and second.
That is a great start. When things are going right, they keep going right. Barksdale was fired up. Just put that right in the middle of no man's land. Once it bounced over the pitcher's head, you knew it might be dangerous. And, boy, Mayflower's in business in the home half of the first.
Ace Ellis facing a little trouble she's not exactly used to. A 1.60 ERA on the season, but the first 3 batters have reached safely for Mayflower. Ellis, 169 innings pitched, 245 strikeouts, has only issued 28 walks. She's going to fill up the strike zone. But she's got some work to do here in the bottom of the first to prevent any further damage.
That was a tough play for Hastings up the middle. At short hop, I think it was just hit so slowly she was trying to decide if she was going to flip to second or go to first, and she just ran out of time.
Ruby Otts sends one out near second base, just beyond the bag. That play is made. So first out of the inning. So Ellis able to get the fly out to Otts, and that's going to bring up Riley Crockett.
I think for Harding Academy, big, just get it out. Something to kind of slow things down because Mayflower was feeling it. First three reached with base hits. Getting that first out sometimes maybe settles down the pitcher a little bit.
So Riley Crockett steps up. .444 average for the freshman.
Man.
18 doubles, a pair of home runs, 41 RBIs, but she's not going to get a chance to add to it as she wears the first pitch. Hit on the shoulder, and another base runner on for the Eagles.
Harding Academy's playing with fire right now. Mayflower putting all kinds of pressure on, bases juiced, still only one out. They're one big hit away from really jumping out early.
We're used to seeing Harding Academy play in state championship games, but that's on the football side. That's on the baseball side. Got to expect the nerves for the Wildcats here on the softball field to be starting them out for a situation they're not necessarily accustomed to.
Yeah, I think this is your conversation. The infield trying to settle down Ellis. You still, only one run's come across. You can get out of this without anything else, but you're going to have to pitch well, settle down, and try to find a way to get some outs.
Michael Duvall is going to step in, a chance to blow this game wide open here in the first inning, as both teams have already pushed one across, but Mayflower has the bases loaded. That one misses well high out of the zone.
I think control a little bit for Ellis. If she can just try to find the zone, settle down a little bit. You certainly do not want to get a hitter's count to Duvall. She can do damage.
.299 average for Duvall, but she's ahead in the count now, 2-0.
This next pitch is big, Bobby, because you go 3-0, then the pressure's really on to throw a strike. You got to have a quality pitch, but you can't groove it either.
That one fouled away. Duvall not taking a healthy cut there for the senior. 4 doubles, got a home run, driven in 18 runs this year as Michael Duvall.
Still got that hitter's count to drive in a run or two.
That one could not get to the elevated fastball, evens up the count at 2-2.
That pitch right there, excellent rise. And that's a gimme too, because if it's a ball and they don't swing, you're really in a tight position. That swing and miss was huge.
Big spot here for Ace Ellis, the pitcher. 2-2. Goes right back to that high fastball. Duvall cannot catch up. Big strikeout. 2 outs now here in the inning.
Man, what a job from Ellis. You needed that. That was big time. Fall behind 2-0, and she was a pitch or two away from really letting that at bat fall away, but she attacked. That was really great execution.
Not completely out of the jam yet, though, is Ellis and Harding Academy. Bases are still loaded for Natalie Hurley. .338 average for the junior as Natalie steps in from the left side. That one's flared off to the left side and fouled away.
I think it's a big early start for Ellis after getting that big strikeout, attacking. You need that. You can live with it. If Mayflower puts it in play, drives in a couple runs, whatever, but you can't walk. Got to attack.
Sometimes you just need that first punch-out to get things going. That one chopped right back to Ellis, makes the throw to first. Harding Academy gets out of the jam as Mayflower leaves the bases loaded. We are tied at 1 after 1.
This broadcast is underwritten in part by
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC. More at my100bank.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's one Cole Porter showstopper after another in a comic look at the staging of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew.
Starring Lisa Davidson, Freddie DeTomaso, and Quinn Kelsey, and Yannick Nazay-Sagan conducts. Don't miss Puccini's opera thriller.
One gentleman showed me his coffee mugs that he had received as a wedding present, and they were $900, so that surprised me.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
We've played one inning here in Conway. Harding Academy and Mayflower all tied at 1. And it's the Wildcats coming up here in the second. Tristan Mahaney going to step in for the Wildcats.
Both teams with good starts. Getting a run across. Now it's going to be a battle, and I think the response from Mayflower, they showed that they can swing. Harding Academy got run too. They got their leadoff hitter aboard with Ellis, trying to keep things rolling in the second.
Mahaney, .232 average on the season. Watches that one go down at the shins. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Not very often you're going to have a hitter that low down in the lineup that leads the team with 3 home runs. She's got some pop.
That one lifted. Right side, tracking near the warning track and out of play. Just 19 hits on the season for Mahaney, but as JB just mentioned, the 3 home runs, 19 RBI. So when she gets a hold of it, she's going to give it a ride.
What a luxury, too, to have down that part of the lineup. And it makes every pitcher have to be a little bit more careful. You can't just, as you get deeper in the lineup, kind of take a pitch off. You got to keep attacking, and Otts is going to try to do that.
Also tied for the team lead in walks drawn as she lays off the changeup there. But that one catches a corner and strike 3 called.
Start the chainsaw, Bobby. That was a beautiful pitch. Off speed, caught her off balance. Great job from Otts to get that selection, mix things up, and caught her looking.
So Mahaney goes down looking, and Miley Harlow, going to step in. One down here in the second. That one catches a corner. So Otts quickly gets ahead in the count.
I think that's going to be the name of the game for these pitchers. Otts doing a nice job of attacking, getting ahead as a pitcher in this type of game with the stakes as high as they are. Just trying to jump ahead.
That one's lifted on the infield, right back to the pitcher. Otts is going to make the play, and quickly 2 down here in the inning. 89 innings pitched this season for Otts. How about a 15-2 record for Ruby? Only giving up 36 earned runs, and that's an ERA of 2.81.
That'll play. That's some impressive numbers and tough competition, too. But she's the one in this circle they've been going to all year long. She's led them this far, and you can see why. And we've seen this with all pitchers. Had a little bit of rocky start in the first. Both pitchers did. Settling in. Which pitcher is going to settle in nicely? So far, Otts with 2 outs in the second, looking good.
Addison Gameros now up a 2 out here for Harding Academy. That one's flared off into the netting. Contact pitcher, though, is Otts. Only 79 strikeouts in those 89 innings of work. We've seen some pitchers this weekend already with the high strikeout numbers. We'll see some more tomorrow with the 2A and 6A championship games. That one's slapped through the left side. That's into the outfield for a base hit for Gameros. And Harding Academy has a 2-out base runner.
That's a good piece of hitting. Goes pull side, waited on that, drives it through the 6 hole. Just being patient until you get a pitch that you can drive.
Ace Ellis, who drove in Harding Academy's run in the first, steps up, a chance to do a little more damage here in the second. Fouls that one straight back. And Otts gets ahead in the count, 0-1.
I think for Harding Academy, that's what you wanted to do, have a base runner aboard for Ellis. She's a tough out every time she steps in. You mentioned scored their only run of the game thus far. She just is so fast, you got to think twice about her when she's at the plate and on the base.
A bunt attempt sent right to the third baseman. Plays made, inning over. Harding Academy gets a base hit, but they leave it. Mayflower, Harding Academy, still tied at 1.
Hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
must face the fact that nothing will ever come of my writing. I had opportunities, squandered them.
Let's get you inside. If you're looking for us to take her in, the answer's no.
You are about to take your vows. Do you feel ready?
Her voice catapulted her to stardom.
She seduced the world.
But for Julie Andrews, fame was overwhelming.
Who is ever prepared for something like that?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Bottom of the second, Mayflower, Harding Academy tied at 1. Harding left a runner on in the top half of the inning. Mayflower looking to build off that momentum they had in the first. Left the bases loaded, but were able to scratch one across. First pitch to Josie Scott. Swing and a miss.
This is a Mayflower squad that has played a lot of tough competition. As a matter of fact, every single classification of softball championships, they've played a team in all of that but the 1A. They lost to Benton and Harbor, and then they've got some good wins on the season against Bauxite, Harding Academy already, and then Hackett. They played some tough competition, and I think it's paid off.
Ace Ellis, the delivery, gets Scott to chase one up around the eyeballs. It'll be tough to get on top of that pitch, but a rise ball. Scott could not catch up or lay off.
Man, we've seen that from her that last inning. A lot of really good riser swing and miss. I think she's feeling confident right now in the circle.
Thanks for tuning in for this 3A softball championship. Harding Academy baseball in Brooklyn still going on across campus. A marathon of a game.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is.
7-7, top of the ninth.
Harding Academy has never lost a baseball championship game in which they've appeared. It's hard to believe that, too.
Wow.
Harding Academy softball trying to get one of those trophies as well, but that pitch from Ace Ellis misses low.
Ellis is ahead. She's trying to get a big out of Scott. And when you pitch ahead, that's fine, but you don't want to nibble too much. Try to come at it, force the ball to be put in play.
Josie Scott ropes one to the left side. That's a base hit to the outfield. Leadoff man on again for Mayflower.
Man, that's just really good hitting from Josie Scott. That one probably caught too much of the plate. You wanted to attack if you're Ellis. She did, and Josie Scott made her pay. That's a great at-bat because you worked the count also, and you got the leadoff man aboard as well.
The first three batters reached in the first inning for Mayflower, and now the Eagles looking to get something going here in inning number 2. Miranda Leslie going to step in now with Scott over at first. Bunt attempt is not given as that one's out of the zone.
462 hitter for Leslie. That's incredible. Man, they've got hitters up and down that Eagle lineup.
That one's lifted. Right side, but out of play.
You got a 9-hole hitter as your catcher hitting 462. I think you're all right.
That's how you turn a lineup over.
No kidding.
3 doubles, a triple, a home run, driven in 18, scored 27 runs. Also drawn 13 walks. Another bunt attempt is not given. Is that one well out of the zone of well?
Yeah, I like this approach, though. Try to get that runner to second base. The way your offense hits for the top of the lineup, if you're able to bunt, get her to second, you got 2 chances to take the lead. I like that.
A bunt. That time she gets it down. That's going to be a tough play, and they can't make the play. The speed from Leslie. An infield bunt single. And Mayflower is in business here in the second.
And it works out perfectly. She gets a little treat at first base, too. I think that was some nerd clusters. Give me some of those. You get the bunt, right? You're at least going to get the runner to second. It works out perfectly. Now you're safe at first, in business first and second for the top of the lineup. Big trouble for Harding Academy.
And Kylie Branscombe steps in. She doubled to start things off in the first inning for the Eagles. And trouble brewing already here in the second. And Ace Ellis and Harding Academy need to find a way to settle down.
You got Branscombe and Haggins both due up here 1-2. Both going to go play at ASU Newports. Their teammates here, teammates at the next level. That's going to be tough to get through for Ellis.
Now a tough spot as Branscombe's ahead in the count, 2-0.
But how about that at bat from Scott to begin? 3-2, gets a base hit. then the bunt. Now Ellis is feeling like things are slipping away a little bit.
That one's right down the middle. Taking all the way was Branscombe, but still a hitter's count at 2-1.
It's tough because you don't want to groove anything to a really good hitter. You got to nibble, but it's got to be close.
That one well short of the plate. Now 3-1. Got to believe Branscome's going to have the green light on anything close. She doubled down the left field line to start things in that first inning. That one was close, but they're going to say missed the bottom of the zone, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Boy, that was a close pitch. Good take, though. Not going to be able to do much with that. Borderline goes the way of Branscombe. And, boy, if you're Mayflower, you're licking your chops with Haggins, Barksdale due up next.
So Haggins steps up with the bases loaded. All she did was drive in the run for Mayflower up to this point back in the first, an RBI single to center. First pitch swinging, that one up the middle, off the glove of the shortstop. One run's going to come in to score, station to station. Haggins has her second RBI of the night.
Man, that was well struck. I like that approach, too. Attacking, first pitch, fastball hunting, smokes it up the middle. Shortstop Hastings dove, but just couldn't quite corral it off the tip of the glove. But the infield was in a little bit, and that's what caused her maybe to not have the best angle on it.
So that's going to lead to a meeting of the minds in the circle, and Coach Will Francis out to try to settle the troops for Harding Academy as Mayflower has the bases loaded, one already in here in the second.
What a luxury, though, to have coach like Will Francis. Been in a lot of pressure moments as a Wildcat in his playing days. One heck of a football quarterback. He's been played in some state championship games. He knows what the moment's like.
Mayflower chance to have a big inning. They could not come up with that timely hit in the first as they left the bases loaded, but one already across here in inning number 2. And Tori Barksdale going to try to add to it.
I think it's important to mention, I mean, still nobody out. You already talked about that, Bobby. If you're Ellis, you just need to get some type of breathing room, need to get an out here.
Barksdale had a base hit in the first inning as well, as the first 3 batters of the contest all reached safely. But she's down in the count now, 0-1 after watching that on the inside corner.
I like the attack, but you got to be careful.
That one, though, slapped left side. That finds a hole. One run's going to come in. The second run right behind her. Head first slide. Mayflower has a 4-1 lead on a 2-run single for Barksdale.
That's a really good swing. I love the approach from Barksdale. A lot of power hitters try to go pull side. She went with the pitch. It was down and away. Barrels it through the 6-hole. Doing a job. And Mayflower still nobody out. Already up 3.
Kylie Branscombe was coming around from second, and she got the green light from the coach in the third base coaching box. Head first slide without a throw. And Mayflower has opened up a 4-1 lead, and all the momentum is going the purple and gold way.
And you just got to go back and circle the top of the lineup, or top of this inning, when Josie Scott, 3-2 pitch, rips one through the hole. It's short. That's what got things started, and they've really started to pour it on.
That one elevated out of the zone to Ruby Otts. Otts a .312 average on the season. Driven in 25 runs, a chance to add to that total here. That one fouled back into the netting.
I don't think I can stress enough how much Ellis needs to get an out here. Something just to kind of calm things a little bit for her team.
Got to find a way to get out of this jam. Already 3 across. That one popped up on the infield. Ellis makes the play herself. A big, big first out recorded.
And into that, because you get an out now, double play ends the inning. You're one potentially pitch away from getting out and not allowing more to come across. But with Mayflower's bats, you never know. You're not always out of the woods when they got guys due up.
The first 5 batters of this inning reached for Mayflower, 4 base hits and a walk. But that pop up by Otts is the first out recorded. Now Riley Crockett steps in. That one lifted left side near the foul line, but third base umpire Blair Cartwright says that's left of the line for a foul ball.
Old Blair Cartwright down the line there. Had a really good angle at it, Bobby.
Did. It's bad sports opinions, but is a good umpire. Blair is actually my tag team partner on the podcast that we host.
Okay. You're not going to dog him too badly then.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt that will happen. That one catches a corner. Ace Ellis, after the pop out on the infield, starting to get maybe a little more confidence in the circle.
And we've seen that. Saw that in the bottom of the first two. Once she got a big strikeout, things started to roll for her a little bit, trying to ride the momentum.
0-2 to Crockett. Chases one up and out of the zone. A big strikeout there for Ace Ellis. Now 2 down in the inning.
You've seen it, her strikeouts. It's been that rise ball. When she gets that, it's deceptive and it's tough to pick up. That's her out pitch. Now she's 1 out away from not allowing any more to come across.
Still runners at first and second. Michael Duvall steps in. That one in across at the knees. So Ellis, you're exactly right, JB. As soon as she gets that first out of an inning, really seems to settle in.
And, I think that's a lot of pitchers, but for Ellis, it's very evident. Riding that momentum, if you will. Just trying to get a big out right here.
That one sent to second. Should get him out of the inning, but the play can't be made. The throw is low. That's going to allow another run for Mayflower to score.
Oh, boy. The oopsie there, second baseman, a little bit of a low throw. Couldn't quite get it there. Bird trying to feed it, and Harlow just couldn't snuff it out. That's a big miscue because that should have ended the inning.
What looked like a routine play, might have just rushed the throw a little bit, spikes it from second base, allows the run to score, but maybe more importantly, extends the inning for Mayflower, who's got 4 across.
Yeah, and for Ellis, who's labored, right? That's a pitch she should get out of the inning. Now let's see how she responds, because a lot of times I know, you give up an error as a pitcher, it gets in your mind a little bit, and you start to labor again.
So Natalie Hurley steps in. 4 across in the second inning already for Mayflower. Runners on the corners. That's heads-up base running as well. A lot of times you may see a base runner give up on a play, think the inning's over, but that was not the case as Haggins scored all the way from second on that throwing error.
That's why she's going to play at the next level. You're right. A lot of players will kind of give up, thinking, the inning's over. I'll stop at third or head back to the dugout. She was rounding, going to home no matter what, and that's how you score that run.
That one misses just low. So Natalie Hurley at a hitter's advantage here. Runners on the corners. 5-1 lead for the Eagles. That one right down the heart of the plate.
She's been close with a lot of these pitches, but whenever you kind of fall into a jam like that error, that zone seems to shrink a lot, and it's tough to find it.
Absolutely. 4th run of the inning, 5th run of the game is going to be unearned, not charged to Ellis, but a free pass issued there. Now they're going to load the bases again for Mayflower. The third different occasion, I should say, for Mayflower these first 2 innings that they've loaded the bases.
Yeah, and the 10th batter of the inning, the one that started this whole thing, Josie Scott's got a chance. Mayflower, they're one big swing away from breaking this thing open. Ellis desperately needs an out right here.
They have officially batted around in the second inning. Scott led things off with that long at bats with a single to left. It's 5-1 Mayflower. You got to believe a base hit here would certainly blow this game wide open, even more so than it is. This one lifted to left. A pretty good ride. Can't make the play. That one's going to get all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Make it a hat trick. 3-run double for Josie Scott, and Mayflower has got an 8-1 lead.
Load them up and clear them. Josie Scott, what an inning. Big blow to left. Just out of the reach of Drew Simmons in left field. What an effort. But man, oh man, Mayflower's breaking things open in the second.
Josie Scott, .349 average, had 17 RBIs on the season, 3 in 1 swing, and has 2 hits here in this second inning. 8-1 Mayflower.
Well, there's a lot of things you can look back in this inning. That error has allowed 4 runs to come across, but you could also circle the at-bats of Josie Scott. She has certainly stepped up to the moment and delivered.
Now Miranda Leslie, who had the bunt single. What felt like an hour ago, but back here in the early parts of this second inning. Ace Ellis has to find a way to settle down, and that throwing error, you hate to pinpoint a miscue, but that has cost Harding 4 runs here in this frame.
And Ellis again has labored through that, just trying to get a big out to get her team to the dugout. They know they're going to have a lot of work to do if they're going to climb back in this thing.
7 runs on 6 hits here in the frame for Mayflower. That's why they've got an 8-1 lead. That one lifted right side, but playable under it. Harding Academy makes the play, but the damage was done. 7 runs for Mayflower, and the Eagles have a commanding 8-1 lead.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I must face the fact that nothing will ever come of my writing. I had opportunities, squandered them.
Let's get you inside.
If you're looking for us to take her in, the answer's no. You are about to take your vows. Do you feel ready?
Her voice catapulted her to stardom.
She seduced the world.
But for Julie Andrews, fame was overwhelming.
Who is ever prepared for something like that?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Mayflower, playing in their first ever state softball championship game, has an 8-1 lead on Harding Academy. The Wildcats have never won a title. This is the 3rd time they've reached the championship game. He's JB Brazil. I'm Bobby Swafford. Thanks for tuning in. And the 3A state softball championship as the spring season starting to wind down here in the natural state.
Final game of this Friday night. Got 2 baseball, 2 softball games. Title still to be decided now, and inclement weather is doing the forecast, so that might throw some things into a little kink. But it's been good softball and baseball this whole weekend thus far.
No doubt. Can't forget soccer's going on across campus as well. This one lifted and hit well out near center field. What a play in center field! Unreal range.
Man, Kylie Branscombe, she's showing that she's going to play at all levels. That was impressive. That was extra bases off the bat all the way. And Kylie Branscombe, little Sports Center top 10 type action? I think so.
Branscombe gets it done at the plate. And how about a diving play in center field for Branscombe? Circle that. Instead of a leadoff double, maybe more for Harding Academy. 1 down's in the inning. That one smoked. Branscombe again. Another big-time play. Branscombe doing a job in center field.
You got to be kidding me. Kylie Branscombe. First one was, oh my. That one you thought, that's a base hit too. Nope, not today when Kylie Branscombe, little no-fly zone out there in center field. Man, that's impressive.
So Kason Reeves and Corey Hastings both robbed of base hits by Branscombe. Mackenzie Bird now steps in. She fouls that one back. Branscombe making an early bid for the MVP title today.
No kidding. And if I'm Mackenzie Bird, I'm not hitting it to center field if I can help it.
No question. Maybe try the other corner. Maybe go to left or right.
Yeah.
The 0-1 to Bird. That one lifted left field. Came in first, but misjudged it. That one's over the head. Bird's going to trot in to second base. A 2-out double. And Harding Academy's got a chance to scratch into the 7-run deficit.
Needed something, a little bit of life there after the center fielder Branscombe made a couple of really nice diving plays. That one to left field, Hurley, I think that first step was in, and that's what cost her. It's ruled a double regardless. And Harding Academy, they just need any bit of life that they can here early.
So now Hannah Floyd, a run-scoring opportunity. 321 average. Driven in 11 runs this year for Harding. First pitch swing and chop to the third baseman. Throw across the diamond. It's done. Harding Academy again has a base runner on, but can't push it across. Mayflower leads it 8-1 after 2.5.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant features 4 courts across 2 gyms, located off Interstate 30, offering space for tournaments, practices, and training. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS. More at summerwoodsports.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
When 3 actors vie for a role,
the next Agent Jonas Best.
One of them dies.
This was cold-blooded murder.
Ah, the peaceful villages of midsummer, host to lovely parties, friendly neighbors, and...
She's been murdered.
Arnie Langston is your ex-husband?
Yes.
I'm afraid he's been found dead at the rugby grounds.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
How many times have you seen a defender make a great play and come up and lead off the next inning? Usually when you edit it that way on SportsCenter, this time it actually happens naturally. Kylie Branscombe, a pair of big-time plays in center field for Mayflower, and she's going to lead off the third with a commanding lead for the Eagles. She watches that one go low.
Usually it works out well. I know defensively when you make nice plays, it usually rolls over offense. Not always, but you're kind of amped up. Chance to try to do a big start here for the bottom of the third for Branscombe.
That one misses just low, so Branscombe's ahead in the count, 2-0. She's 1 for 1 today, single and a walk.
Her third at bat is what you're telling me.
Third at bat, second plate appearance, or vice versa, whatever you want to call it.
But it means her offense has done a job if she's getting up third time now here in the third inning.
Mayflower batted around in the second. She walked in that second inning. That one slapped back through the middle. That gets through. Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you place it. A single to lean things off for Kylie Branscombe. She's 2 for 2.
Yeah, we've seen that from Mayflower tonight. They've just placed it well. At certain times, I go back, they've just good place bunt, little tapper over the pitcher's head. You put it in the right spot, good things happen. And that's why it's important to put the ball in play. Anything can happen when you do that.
Third consecutive inning, all 3 of them tonight, that Mayflower has a leadoff base hit. Now Alyssa Haggins steps in.
In fans, if you'll help us out, return all foul balls to the first base.
Nice crowd here tonight. I believe the half the Harding Academy crowd is still across campus at the baseball game, and Mayflower obviously only one exit away on Interstate 40. They brought a nice contingent. That bunt laid down. Ellis, the throw, nicely done to field her position. But the job is done by Haggins. Sacrifice bunt moves Branscombe into scoring position.
That's great execution for Mayflower. They've done the right things tonight. Ellis committed to UT Martin. She's a good pitcher, good hitter, good defender. She needed to get that out because that was close over at first base. And, you know, if you're late, you're looking at first and second, nobody out. That was a big out.
Now steps in Tori Barksdale. She singled in the first. Also drove in a pair with a single in the second. So Barksdale 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs today and a chance to drive in another here. That one misses low. Mayflower's already pounding out the base hits today.
Yeah, it's been a great start offensively. That's what you got to do to win title games.
Constant pressure. Barksdale, that one sent left side. That's going to be an error on the third baseman right underneath the glove, a play that should have been made, but instead Mayflower again has trouble brewing with runners on the corners.
You know, it's hit sharply. I'm with you. Likely that's ruled an error. It was hit hard enough you might could see them rule that a single, but she squared it up. That's a play third baseman knows she wants to make that. Tough job for Story. She was in the right place. It just snuck underneath the glove.
So now runners on the corners for Mayflower, wanting to add to an already impressive 7-run lead. Ruby Otts steps up.
They do indeed rule it an error, so you're right, Bobby. Let's play, and that could loom big. You get another run across, another unearned run.
That one lifted and out of play. It's a good crowd out on the berm. Perfect night for softball here. What better way to spend a Friday night? We've already seen 13 base hits in this contest.
Man, if you like offense, you've come to the right place.
That one sent to short. That's going to get a run across. They get the force play at second. So they go the short route, does Harding Academy, gets the out, but call it an RBI fielder's choice for Rubiats.
And it does come back to bite Harding Academy. That error, nice job from Hastings because it was close at second. Really good defensive play to stab, pivot, and throw all in one motion to get the lead out. But, man, if you get another out, you're thinking it still should be 8-1. It's been the bugaboos for Harding Academy that's come back to bite them.
Yep, and you can go back to that last inning and say that 4 runs shouldn't have scored because of a throwing error as well. But Mayflower certainly taking advantage of extra opportunities, and Riley Crockett's hoping to keep that going. A big swing and a miss from the left-hander, and she's down in the count 0-1.
And, Ellis hasn't pitched poorly. She's pitched well enough to get some outs. You got to give credit to Mayflower. They've hit the softball, but at the same time, there's been some outs that have been left out there.
That one flared left side, but well foul. So Ellis ahead in the count 0-2 to Crockett.
And good teams do what good teams do. When you give them extra base runners or extra opportunities, they will make you pay. Mayflower has been legit.
That's why these two teams are playing on the grandest stage. This one sent out to left field, camped underneath it, makes the play. And Harding Academy gets out of the inning, but Mayflower adds another. Eagles lead 9-1.
And 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, Mayflower 9, Harding Academy 1.
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
I have some glad tidings to impart.
Whoa! Look at that!
I'm still surprised at how good I am.
Jane Austen was my sister.
I didn't think I would ever study medicine, but here I am.
Absolutely delicious, especially straight out of the oven.
I've never seen anything like this.
I think we have sufficient cause for celebration.
We haven't had a lot of time to breathe. 13 hits, 10 runs, but it's been all Mayflower as we hit the 4th inning as the Eagles lead Harding Academy 9-1. He's JB Brazil. I'm Bobby Swafford. Thanks for tuning in. Both of these teams looking for their first ever softball championship. And Drew Simmons sends a fly ball high left field. They're camped underneath it. Easy play. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th.
Good start there for Mayflower pitching-wise. And how about it over at Bear Stadium? Bottom of the 10th, still tied up at 7.
10 innings, you say?
10 innings.
It's the longest championship game, I believe, since 2022.
Wow.
Harrison and Valley View went 10 innings. Luckily for us, that was the last game of the day on PBS.
That's right.
We didn't have to worry about that one covering anybody up. It's a long time ago. I've slept since then. I believe Harrison won that game. Stick around tomorrow. A lot more championship games to come. Another first pitch swing and pop up to the shortstop. Too quickly up, too quickly out here in the 4th. As Otts has got the good stuff working in the circle.
That's just a great job attacking. That's what you want to do when you got a lead. There's no sense in playing around with the hitters. Just attack them, come at them. Good things happen.
That was Tristan Mahaney who popped out to short, and that brings up Miley Harlow. A wave and a miss. The 0-1 to Harlow. Again, well underneath that high fastball. And Otts is quickly ahead 0-2. Just looking to make quick work Have not seen a 1-2-3 inning on either side. I might have just jinxed it there. Otts looking for it here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. The punch-outs. 1-2-3 goes Harding Academy. Mayflower coming up with an 8-1 lead.
Winrock Automotive supports Arkansas athletes as a sponsor of the Arkansas PBS Sports broadcast of the high school state championship games. With 7 dealerships across the state serving Little Rock, Conway, and Jonesboro, Winrock Automotive is community-focused and provides vehicle sales and service across Arkansas. We're honored to be a part of these unforgettable moments celebrating Arkansas student-athletes. Winrock Automotive, connecting communities through service and support.
This month in Passport on the PBS app.
2 stab wounds. First one's deep. Most likely the fatal blow.
We're assuming that whoever killed Glover raised the platform.
So, who in Brokenwood had a motive for murder?
Oh, nearly everyone.
I'm a woman alone, newly arrived in a dangerous town.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS app.
Eight-run lead for Mayflower as we've hit the bottom of the 4th already. We're moving quickly. We're at Natalie Schock Stadium on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas. And Michael Duvall takes a called strike 1 on the corner.
I think Ellis needs to get some stops here. You can't allow things to get any more out of hand. Your offense has been stifled right now for Harding Academy. Mayflower's in the driver's seat. They're looking to add some more pressure against Ellis.
Mayflower scored in every inning. They've also had a leadoff base hit in all 3 innings prior to this. But Ellis gets ahead in the count now, 1-2. Duvall, Hurley, and Scott are due up for Mayflower here in inning number 4. And you're exactly right, JB. Is that swing and a miss? But maybe have a chance to reach. Duvall does. So call it a strikeout, but reach on a wild pitch. And Mayflower continues to come up aces with everything as the leadoff man's on again.
For Harding Academy, when it rains, it pours, right? I mean, my goodness. You get the strikeout, and now Mayflower again have reached safely in their leadoff hitter every single time.
So Natalie Hurley steps into the left-hander's batter's box. That one lifted left side, but right to the left fielder camped underneath it. Makes the play, and the first out of the inning is recorded as Drew Simmons makes the play.
Right at him. An Adam ball, as we say. Hit it sharply, but those are the kinds you like, and they're not always so easy. When they're hit right at you, a line drive for Timmons, that it kind of knuckles out there. That's a nice play, a lot harder than it looks.
So Josie Scott now steps in. She's already done plenty of damage at the plate for Mayflower on this Friday night.
Well, when you look at, a team, in postseason, softball and baseball have the rewarding performance, whatever, Capital One. My thought is for Josie Scott right now, she's had quite the rewarding performance. She's coming big time for Mayflower.
Yeah, between her and Branscombe out in center field and the plate, they have certainly done a job. Simmons again ranges over, makes the play. Back-to-back put-out for the left fielder for Harding Academy, and 2 are down here in the inning.
Ellis needed that because we've seen earlier in the game where she's had either a miscue, an error, where things start to struggle a little bit. She attacks Hurley, attacks Scott, gets the outs, and she's an out away from kind of getting a smoother inning is what she needs.
Miranda Leslie now steps in, trying to take advantage of that base runner at first. A quick check on the runner. Back safely is Duvall, who reached on a wild pitch after swinging at strike 3.
Regardless of what happens for Mayflower, they're 9 outs away from their first ever state title. And Harding Academy, they've got 8 runs they got to come up with somehow.
Starting to run out of time. And that one's fouled away. I've seen some crazy things happen in the game of softball and also in championship games, so it's too early to start a countdown.
Sure.
Seen some crazy things in baseball, too, like double-digit innings going on across campus.
Tied at 10 in the 11th.
So those are the games that make you frustrated as an announcer or a media member because your scorebook usually only goes to 10 innings. Like, what are you supposed to do now?
Yeah, that's tough. Because you don't plan for that. You can't plan for that.
You cannot plan for that. That is true, and that's why we are playing 2 games at once right now. Again, fouled away into the netting here at Natalie Schock Stadium. Two more baseball, 2 more softball championship games on tap for tomorrow. Hopefully we can get them in. This one's flared out to center. A play is made by Reeves, and that's going to do it. First inning that Mayflower doesn't score, but they still lead it 9-1.
UAMS is a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS sports. UAMS Health provides orthopedic and sports medicine care across Arkansas, supporting athletes and teams throughout the state. Find out more at UAMShealth.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Hi, I'm Steve Weldon, inviting you to join me for a fun-filled 3-day hike at one of the most scenic national parks in America.
Now I'm going further, following a route inspired by the Pan American Highway, a system of roads connecting the Americas.
Each week we travel the country north to south, east to west, exploring some of the most exciting gardens.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Harding Academy's got work to do as we've hit the latter innings of this 3A state softball championship game. Mayflower leads it 9-1.
The way they're rolling right now, Otts in the circle, just keep doing what you've been doing. Attack, no reason not to. Make Harding Academy earn it, because right now, with 9 outs to work, you like your chances of just putting the ball in play and getting outs as long as your defense can make the plays.
Addison Gameros singled her first time up. Comes up swinging. No second at bat, but wave and a miss.
But, for Ellis and Harding Academy, you know how frustrating it is when you've dug a hole like this. You start feeling you got to start getting more back at once, and that is true. You got to start nickeling and diming back, but also it also feels like you try to expand more. You try to attack more than you should, and things can spiral out of control quickly.
Yeah, there are no such things as 8-run home runs, so you've got to start to chip away, if you will. But it's hard to have that mentality as a team when you only have 9 outs to play now.
Yeah.
And you've got an 8-run deficit to make up.
Try to go one pitch at a time if you can.
Lifted foul.
And I know it's difficult to think, I got to win each pitch because it is a lot of them, but you got to start thinking that way. Otherwise, it's an insurmountable lead.
Yep. Got to find a way to win every at-bat if you're Harding Academy from here on out. 1-2 now to the Gameros.
That's a tall order with Otts, the way that she's pitched. She is dialed in the game that matters most for Mayflower fans.
Faced a little trouble in that first inning, did Otts. That's when Harding Academy scored their only run. But once she settled in, she has been tough to figure out. 1-2 to Gameros. That one's lifted left side into center field, and a base hits. Addison's got a pair of base hits tonight for Harding Academy.
Needed that from Gameros. Drills it over the shortstop's head. Scott couldn't get there. And 1-2 count, too. It looks like Ott's going to win. Get her out somehow. Nope. Gameros kept battling. That's a great start for Harding Academy. You need to ride that momentum. You really feel like you need to get a run or two right here in this inning, Bobby, to kind of make it feel like it's closer.
They've got a chance now as the base runner's on for Ace Ellis, who hits .561. You heard that right. Chopper to short. They're going to go to the short route for the force out. So a fielder's choice, and Ellis can't move the runner.
See her tap her chest there. Said, my bad. That's she knows that she needs to find a way to get on and allow that runner at second to be safe as well. But give the defense for Mayflower credit. Give Otts credit, too. She's been tough to figure out. She's pitched well with the lead. Not a lot of pitchers do that.
So Ellis at first now with a 1 out. Kaysen Reeves. 4.42 average for Kaysen. She's committed to play volleyball at Lubbock Christian. That's a Division II powerhouse. Had some nice run-ins with University of Arkansas at Fort Smith a handful of years ago.
Well, Bobby, I've been so impressed with Otts. Not a lot of pitchers pitch well with the lead. Sometimes they can get too comfortable. She has been locked in almost every at bat.
Tries to check the swing, does Reeves, but cannot. That's fouled away. Both these teams still looking for their first ever softball championship. Mayflower likely starting the countdown as they don't have to take off the shoes anymore. Less than 10 outs. They can count.
They don't need their toes.
They don't.
They're telling me.
Exactly. Reeves watches that one outside.
That's a great take from Reeves. Just got to try to battle, work the pitch count if you can as well. Right now, if you're Harding Academy, you just need every little bit of hope that you can. And I'm not trying to sound gloom and doom, but you're running out of time and opportunities. You got to make the most of them.
Yep, when you're facing a deficit with the number of outs that you have, that's never good. This one lifted left side, going to get out of play. Have to be able to take advantage of any base runner that you get. Leadoff base hit by Addison Gameros here for Harding Academy. But Ace Ellis grounded into a fielder's choice. She's the runner at first now. One down here in the fifth. That one flared out to left field. Almost overran it, but the play made for Mayflower for the second out of the inning.
A nice job from Hurley recovering a little bit because that very easily could overrun it. If that's the case, Harding Academy's got at least second and third. Instead, 2 outs now, only a runner at first. And that's been the difference, though. If you look at it, the errors or the miscues, Harding Academy's just had too many, and that's what's allowed Mayflower to balloon their lead out to 8.
Corey Hastings, the 3-hole hitter for Harding Academy. First pitch swinging. That one to left center field. A nice running play from Natalie Hurley. Retires the side. Mayflower in complete control of the 3A state championship.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Centennial Bank supports communities across Arkansas and is a proud supporter of the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports, providing financial services since 1999. Member FDIC. More at my100bank.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
It's one Cole Porter showstopper after another in a comic look at the staging of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew.
Starring Lisa Davidson, Freddie DeTomaso, and Quinn Kelsey, and Yannick Nazay-Seguin conducts. Don't miss Puccini's opera thriller.
One gentleman showed me his coffee mugs that he had received as a wedding present, and they were $900, so that would surprise me.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
It's a trio that's going to give nightmares to Harding Academy fans. Branscombe, Higgins, and Barksdale due up for Mayflower. The top of the order has been just havoc all evening long in the Mayflower batter's box.
It's got the makings of a state championship team when you look at that lineup and what they've done. But, I mean, you even talk about Josie Scott. A few others have just been such an offensive prowess, tough to figure out for Ellis, who's not pitched poorly, as we keep mentioning. But the errors and really just the timely hitting from Mayflower, when you kind of mesh those things together, that's allowed them 9 runs.
Mayflower 25-6 on the season, .399 team batting average. 13 homers, but 72 doubles on the season. This is a team that has 96 extra base hits. Talk about putting pressure on an opponent.
Man.
They've only struck out 107 times. An element we haven't seen tonight because they haven't needed it. They're 38 of 42 on stolen base attempts as a team. So they can put pressure on opposing teams in a few different ways. Coach Jeff Hill has got himself a powerhouse squad, and they are 6 outs away from winning their first ever state championship.
And again, you go back to their offense, they've done a lot right. They've put the ball in play. Good things have happened.
That one sent to second base. A quick flip in the throw. And Branscombe is retired as they get the first out here in the fifth.
Well, if you're Harding Academy, I mean, I think it goes without saying, you can't dig any deeper a hole. You've got to get stops. You can't allow any more runs to cross, and then you got to hope your offense can figure some things out. Only 6 outs now with which to work.
It's a good start, though, for Harding Academy. The first time the leadoff runner has not reached for Mayflower. That one set right back up the middle. So the pressure continued to be applied. Alyssa Haggins. 0-0 count, slaps one right back through the box.
She must have heard you, Bobby. Say, okay, the leadoff runner's not been aboard. I'll make it the second best thing. And just right after you finish those words, she smokes it right back through the box.
Mayflower had singles to lead off the first, second, and third inning. Reached on a wild pitch after a swinging strike 3 in the fourth. But now one down. Barksdale, though, not wasting any time either. Grounds into a 6-4 fielder's choice. And Barksdale able to beat the relay throw, so 2 quickly down. We're starting to see both of these teams really attack early in the count in the late innings. Ruby Otts now steps in.
Mayflower knows that they'd like to push things across. I mean, 10 runs would be a run rule too, so they're trying to get to that moment, but they're also just trying to keep applying more pressure. And you look at Ellis, she's only given up 4 earned runs, so if you take away the errors, it's a 4-1 game.
That one smoked left side, but that one hooks foul down the left field line.
They keep on swinging the sticks, but going back to that point, could be 4-1. That feels like a more manageable deficit, but Mayflower has had the big hits, and they have made Harding Academy pay.
5 of the 9 runs for Mayflower have been unearned. Harding Academy gets out of this inning as Otts grounds to short. It's 9-1 as we head to the 6th.
Mayflower 9, Harding Academy 1.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Everett Buick GMC provides vehicles to Arkansas families and supports local organizations. Community involvement has been part of our story for generations. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS Sports. More at everettbgmc.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I must face the fact that nothing will ever come of my writing. I had opportunities, squandered them.
Let's get you inside. If you're looking for us to take her in, the answer's no.
You are about to take your vows. Do you feel ready?
Her voice catapulted her to stardom.
She seduced the world.
But for Julie Andrews, fame was overwhelming.
Who is ever prepared for something like that?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Mayflower, 9-1 lead on Harding Academy. The Wildcats, though, due up in the top of the 6th. We've got Bird, Floyd, and Simmons. JB Brazil, they are running out of time.
And, boy, the way Otts is pitched, if she keeps attacking it, that's what I would do. Make them put it in play until they start earning it. When you got a 9-1 lead, that's the luxury. Attack, attack, attack.
Mackenzie Bird watches one catch the outside corner. So Otts again ahead in the count. That one lifted right side, right to the second baseman, makes the play. 2 pitches, 1 out. As Michael Duvall camped underneath it, makes the easy catch.
I think you could begin to start the countdown if you're Mayflower. 5 outs now to go. Until Harding Academy starts stringing together some hits, I think you like where you're at if you're Mayflower. And for Otts, just keep dealing.
Hannah Floyd, 321 average on the season, now steps in. That one misses outside. Ruby Otts has been effective in the circle. Harding Academy got their lone run back in the first inning where they had 3 consecutive base runners reach to start the game, but from that point, it's been all purple and gold.
They've responded, right? Came back with a run of their own at the bottom of the first, and they have never looked back.
That catches a corner. When you've got a pitcher like Otts, who is just painting the black. That is tough to get a decent approach. And that's where Harding Academy has struggled to string together base hits tonight. Chased one up the ladder, and Otts gets another punch out.
Boy, just a little bit over-eager if you're Floyd, trying to do a job and trying to make something happen. That one rising above the zone fooled. How about the job from Otts? She's just 4 outs away from leading her team to their first ever state championship.
Drew Simmons going to try to keep the inning alive here in the 6th. First pitch swing, and that one's roped down the left field line. It's fair ball. That one bounces up against the wall. Simmons coasting the second. Big turn there, but she'll throw on the brakes. A 2-out double for Drew Simmons.
That's some aggression. Goes pull side, clobbers it into that left field corner. If she gets that underneath that one just a little bit more, you might see a solo bomb.
It's the hardest hit ball we've seen from Harding Academy up to this point. Simmons doubles down the left field line. Tristan Mahaney now steps in. Another run-scoring opportunity for the Wildcats. First pitch swinging's fouled straight back.
I'll tell you right now, Drew Simmons does not want to go down without a fight for her Wildcats. She's trying to spark some life into their offense because they're going to need it in a big way with only 4 outs to work.
Couldn't take advantage of a leadoff base hit in the 5th. Now Harding Academy gets a 2-out double here in inning number 6. They've got to find a way to push that run across. That one in the dirt. It's going to allow the base runner Simmons to advance to third. I guess the brown grass, if you want to call it that. Not really dirt here at Natalie Schock Stadium. Old habits die hard for an old guy like myself.
Sure. Well, they've painted it that brown, dirtish color to help you out.
It used to be green, is that what you're telling me? Just go out there before every game with a can of spray paint. That one chopped to short. Throw across the diamonds in time, and Mayflower now just 3 outs away from getting it done, but the Eagles coming up, bottom of 6 with a 9-1 lead.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by...
For over 70 years, Farm Bureau Insurance has offered coverage for automobiles, homes, farms, and lives across Arkansas. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association. More at afbic.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
I must face the fact that nothing will ever come of my writing. I had opportunities, squandered them.
Let's get you inside. If you're looking for us to take her in, the answer's no.
You are about to take your vows. Do you feel ready?
Her voice catapulted her to stardom.
She seduced the world.
But for Julie Andrews, fame was overwhelming.
Who is ever prepared for something like that?
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Mayflower leads 9-1 as we've reached the home half of the 6th inning. Crockett, Duval, and Hurley due up for Mayflower. They could technically end things here in the 6th if they push 2 runs across. But Harding Academy is down to their final 3 outs should we get to the 7th. Ooh, change it. Nasty. Pulls the string there, and Crockett can't slow down the bat enough.
Hard to believe. Bottom of the 12th over at Bear Stadium. It's 11-10 Harding Academy 12? Trying to, 12 innings.
It's allowed to go long.
It's still going along.
So there's a decent chance that we may wrap up here before they finish across the campus. Who would have thunk it?
Not high.
No. Can't plan for that. So here's Riley Crockett facing Ace Ellis. The right-handed pitcher from Harding Academy again goes back to that changeup and a called strike 3.
That is nasty. That's exactly the word that came to my mind. Damn.
Michael Duval now going to step in. And this is probably a tough time as a batter if you're Mayflower to have a approach because you know that you're only 3 outs away. Like, hey, let's just go out there and play some defense and win this title.
Yeah. You don't want to look too far ahead. You want to try to end it here if you can, but you're right. Defensively, you're thinking, Ott's pitching so well.
No doubt.
We like our chances.
0-1 to Duvall. Lifted. In comes the center fielder. Made that play look a whole lot easier than it likely was. Nice job arranging in by Kason Reeves.
You know, if you look back for Harding Academy, Ellis has pitched well. I mean, the last 4 through 6 innings, Goose Eggs thus far, it was the first through third, really the big inning in the second. You see 7 runs. That's been the difference thus far.
Final 3 of those were unearned. That one misses high. I'm going to check the swing. I'm going to say she did not go.
Our umpiring crew, Marvin Eaton behind the dish. And then you already mentioned Blair Cartwright over at third and Corby Daviston at first.
They've done a great job here tonight. That bunt attempt goes foul. It's always nice when you don't have to mention the umpires until the 6th inning.
That means they've done a great job. Hey, both teams have hit the ball and put the ball in play.
That's right. There haven't been a lot of long at-bats, not many walk or strikeout opportunities. Both these teams have been aggressive at the plate. Speaking of aggressive, again swinging. This one popped up near the third base dugout, but makes the play. Nice job ranging over into foul territory.
This broadcast is underwritten, in part by
Summerwood Sports Complex in Bryant features 4 courts across 2 gyms, located off Interstate 30, offering space for tournaments, practices, and training. Proud to support the Arkansas Activities Association and Arkansas PBS. More at summerwoodsports.com.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
When 3 actors vie for a role,
The next Agent Jonas Best.
one of them dies.
This was cold-blooded murder.
Ah, the peaceful villages of midsummer, host to lovely parties, friendly neighbors, and
She's been murdered.
Arnie Langston is your ex-husband?
Yes.
I'm afraid he's been found dead at the rugby grounds.
Only on Arkansas PBS.
First baseman number 11.
Mayflower just 3 outs away from their first ever softball state championship. He's JB Brazil. I'm Bobby Swafford. Thanks for tuning in to this 3A softball championship game right here on Arkansas PBS Sports. It's going to be Harlow, Gamaros, and Ace Ellis due up for Harding Academy. They'll find a way to scratch across at least 8 to prolong this contest.
It's not impossible, but you've got to take it one pitch at a time and find a way. You got to get base runners. So any way to get on, you got to if you're Harding Academy.
So Miley Harlow trying to figure out the puzzle that has been Otts. That one flared left side, going to get down. That's going to be a base hit into the outfield. We'll throw on the brakes over at first base, so that's exactly what you want if you're Harding Academy. A leadoff base hit from Miley Harlow.
That's a start. Just out of the reach of the diving Josie Scott at shortstop. Nice job to get things rolling. You're going to need a lot more of that if you're Harding Academy, but you're right, that's a start.
So Addison Gamaros, who's got a pair of base hits already tonight, steps up with a chance to make things interesting as we play in the 7th. Taken all the way there. That's a called strike, and that's an approach you'll see a lot of times, especially with teams that are trailing late in contests. You'll make them throw at least 1. Sometimes you'll take even 2 strikes. Try to take as many free gifts as the opposing team will give you. First, swinging. That one's flared near the line, but nice job of ranging in from the right fielder for Mayflower. Riley Crockett catches that on the run, 1 down.
That's a nice effort. Good bid from Gamaros, but better job from Crockett down the line, and Mayflower starting to feel it a little bit, 2 outs away.
Pitcher number 6, Ace Ellis.
Ace Ellis, the pitcher, now steps in. By far the highest average on the team, 561. JB mentioned earlier in the broadcast she's committed to UT Martin.
The Skyhawks.
561 is high no matter what level you're playing at.
No kidding. She's been stifled ever since that first inning offensively.
That one lifted center field. Branscombe ranging over. Oh, are you kidding me? Branscombe with her third highlight level play of the night.
I can't believe what I'm seeing from Kylie Branscombe. My goodness, the center fielder, you think she wants to win this title game, laying it all on the line. An impressive diving catch once again.
Unbelievable play out in center field from Branscombe. Not once, not twice, but 3 times tonight. She has stolen base hits from Harding Academy.
Boy, the Mayflower faithful, they can all but feel it now.
Kaysen Reeves, the last chance for Harding Academy. Harlow still the runner at first. It's a 9-1 lead for the Eagles. That one fouled back.
Mayflower not that far away. They wanting to bring home their first ever state title.
Otts looking to go the distance. That one slapped to short. They go the short way, and that'll do it. The Mayflower Eagles are your 3A softball state champions.
What a feeling for Mayflower. First time ever. The faithful love it, and the Eagles, first time ever, state champs.
7-run second inning blew this game open, and Mayflower is celebrating as they should. They dominated this from the start. Trophy presentation coming up as Mayflower earns their title.
Please stay off the field. All fans stay off the field. And bear with us, we'll have our post-game ceremony momentarily.
Since 1937, the electric cooperatives of Arkansas have been providing power to homes, farms, and businesses across our state. The cooperatives are member-owned and work together to serve Arkansans. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas proudly support high school students and athletics in Arkansas and hope you enjoy watching the state championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Better connected together. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas.
I have some glad tidings to impart.
Whoa! Look at that!
I'm still surprised at how good I am.
Jane Austen was my sister.
I didn't think I would ever study medicine, but here I am.
Absolutely delicious, especially straight out of the oven.
I've never seen anything like this.
I think we have sufficient cause for celebration.
Campus to campus, it's about 6 miles, and Mayflower made the long journey, and that's what they came for, and that's what they're taking home, the 3A softball state championship.
Well, what a feeling. To make it here is one thing, first time ever, and then to leave with what you came for, the hardware for Mayflower. Boy, Bobby, it was the offense. From the onset, they kept swinging it and led them to their first ever state title. What a performance for the Eagles.
They put constant pressure on Harding Academy throughout this entire contest, and that's why Mayflower, for the first time in school history, are state champs. They just continue to pound out base hit after base hit, and a couple untimely errors against Harding Academy really proved to be the difference.
Yeah, Otts in the circle was dominant, and then the bats kept on swinging. A couple errors you mentioned, but it was the Eagles offensively.
MVP.
They take it home. What a performance.
Ruby Otts of Mayflower.
Ruby Otts, the MVP of this 3A state championship game, and the way she pitched after the first 3 batters of the game, really no question that she dominated the circle.
Yeah, she was just really attacking early. Once they got the lead in the second, she was dynamite in the circle, getting ahead of hitters, making them put it in play, and that's why she was your MVP.
6 strikeouts for Otts, and Mayflower's your softball 3A MVP. 2 more softball title games to come tomorrow. Be sure to tune in, as we are not done yet from the Weekend of Champions. You've been watching the Centennial Bank State Softball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.